Welcome back to the Captain Horsburgh Centre of Excellence for the final match and game of match day 6 between Maligned United and Arnett Gardens here at the Captain Horsburgh Centre of Excellence.
Maybe at that point they can get a win.
Yes, so we start off with Maligned United. Sergina Frankson on that right wing for Molynes. And so they do have the players, Maligned United. They have Fakibe Farkison. They have they also have Frankson as well that can really trouble that defense. So they do have players that can make a difference for this team. You did say they've scored 3 goals in the last 2 games, Maligned United. So you think that they do have some positivity in terms of going forward, so they might can trouble this defense of Arnett, who are not exactly stable at all.
Yeah, you look at the Molynes team. Yes, they're at the bottom, well, at the bottom of the table, but it's really been fine margins for them. In the opening game against Vere, it was 0-0. Against Portmore, it was almost in the 90th minute that they conceded and lost 1-0. In the game against Mount Pleasant, it was 2-2. And they came back in that one and fought and got a point. And then the only game is against Dumbarholden, you felt 3-1. They've been sort of blown away, if you want to put it that way. So it's really been fine margin for Molynes. And if they can, get that defensive side of it right today, you feel they can make it really difficult for Arnett.
Of course, the player down holding his face is Romeo Guthrie. Had a little collision with Javon Brown, we see here, and Brown just swung his hand to the face of Guthrie.
I think more reflex type. I don't think it was anything malicious in it. It's just probably trying to ease the player out of the way. With the player's momentum, Guthrie coming straight into him, just like to fend him off. I think that's why a referee decided to just give him a talking to on that occasion.
Well, for Fakibe Farkison, he'll be looking to be a very impactful player for Molynes United, yet to score this season, but we know what he can do in that attacking third for Molynes.
I think both himself and as I'd mentioned before, Ardley Barnes for Arnett, those are 2 players who, give them credit, they haven't scored, they keep showing up though. You'll get them making those runs continually, and I've seen Barnes, and if you don't know, sometimes you get frustrated with it that he gets some easy chances. There we see him and not put them away, but he's been given the start today. We heard that Sigri has been out with injured. He has been brought in, and as such we expect that they're expecting Arnett that he can get it right today.
Sometimes it's a precursor to maybe starting. They do have a couple of matches left in the season, a shortened season due to COVID.
Yeah, well, for both these 2 teams, well, for Arnett, it's pretty much a halfway point for them. Arnett and Molynes, this is their 5th game of the season, so it's their halfway point.
Frankson, also another utility player, very versatile, can play in the defense for Molynes.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to be expected to track back a lot today. I think they have 3 central, but I think their wide players are going to have to help them to plug the half spaces today, because Coach Patrick says he's looking to really get a clean sheet today.
Did state that he was working on the attack and realized that the defense was certainly a problem, and some mix-up in the defense by Arnett Gardens, and this is what they need to do. Sergina Frankson, a shot at goal. The first shot of the contest is not the best one, and it goes way over the target. Goal kick for Arnett.
You feel he could have taken it a little bit more, increased the probability. It's more likely as you get closer to goal. So we have a look back at it here. Played into him. Had options to his right, and could have played for the ball to be played into that area between defence and the midfield and the goalkeeper.
Molynes United coming forward. It's still Molynes wide of the target again. So Molynes getting those opportunities. And again, they'll be looking to put those opportunities on target.
Yeah, for sure. As I said, I don't think they're worried about their attacking thrust. And as Coach Patrick said, that's what he worked on in his first 2 games in charge. Feels comfortable that he can provide a threat to any team that he's up against. But they're going to have to increase their chance by getting closer to goal.
Both teams will be fighting to get those 3 points this season, or this game, I should say. Maligned, their attack just thwarted, but they do have possession once more. It's for Kibi Farquharson.
That you feel was a good opportunity. That one should have been on target. It just blazed over. It just didn't show the composure that you felt he needed, and he went for power rather than to try and pick a spot. That was more shooting rather than finishing. And we've seen 3 shots already from Molynes, none on target. I think they're just going for power, just putting their foot through it.
Well, power is not always the best option when you want to score.
No, I mean, the coaches will tell them you need to finish, and finish is certainly different from shooting. You just put your foot through it when you shoot. You get into a particular area. With finishing, you pick a spot, you try and guide it in there, and then you may put some power on it to get past the custodian, but certainly more technique and more thinking required when you talk about finishing. Finishing, you ensure it's on target. You see there.
Foul by Steve Clark on Sergino Frankson. Frankson on the ball now. He receives it again on that right-hand side. A block by Janoy Cunningham. A corner, the first corner of the game, going to Maligned United. So Maligned are attacking. They're pressing this Arnett Gardens team.
I don't think we've seen an attack from Arnett so far in this one.
No.
So yeah, it's all Maligned so far in this opening 8 minutes of the game.
Of course, Amal Knight played in the USL. Back here in Jamaica. Corner for Maligned United. And just gave it away carelessly. And now Arnett Gardens can attack somewhat. Bossetakos couldn't find Steve Clark. Steve Wright sends that forward to find Nelson. Nelson sends that one inside, but collected by Amal Knight. So again, Maligned United just attacking that Arnett Gardens defense.
Yeah, goalkeeper Knight had to be crisp with his collection there, because Pakibe Farquharson was just lurking and just looking for a ball to come across, or any spill from Amal Knight. And
yes. And Fakibe Farquharson, the one down on the field. He's a man that they would certainly need in the middle of the park, in that attacking position to maybe create another chance, but they've been doing so, and they've been pressuring, as I said, that Arnett Gardens defense. Will it lead to a goal scoring opportunity? Here's Hardy Barnes trying to chase that ball down, but of course Leon Taylor saw that one all the way through. Throw for Molynes. Emmanuel. That ball intercepted. Now it's with Guthrie. Guthrie over to finding Cephas. Cephas skips by one challenge. And it's Arnett Gardens now inside the 18-yard box. Harley Barnes couldn't connect. And he didn't latch on to that pass. That was a very good ball. A very good play by Ronaldo Cephas. Skips by the challenge of Damian Thomas. And a very good run by Hardley Barnes, just in front of him. And he couldn't latch on to that one, Dwight. That was a very good opportunity for Arnett Gardens.
I think the run by Barnes could have been better, though. I think he was going towards Cephas and might have needed to go towards the far post to be around that ball when it comes so he could tap it in. And that's what the problem I think that Cephas may provide, or Arnett may provide for Molynes, with 3 at the back. And if those wide players don't track back, there's a lot of space to the sides of the penalty area, the 18-yard box, and that's where Cephas ran into, having picked up that pass. And you felt Barnes just needed to sort his feet out and needed a lunge, and as we see the ball again over the top into that space to Cephas.
Ronaldo Cephas, but the goalkeeper Leon Taylor had to come out of his 18-yard box to defend that one. So Arnett Gardens are now attacking.
Yeah, we expect that from them. As we said, their first half has always been good so far in their 4 games, despite losing 3. But again, I have to point out, that's the area which I had mentioned to Coach Patrick, and saying, is he going to go with the 3 at the back, knowing Arnett that they attack a lot with Clark and Cephas. And already we see that Cephas getting some joy. Yellow card here.
Yes, it's a yellow card for Akeem Brown of Maligned United. So the first yellow card of the game.
And we did talk about Arnett needing a proper number 9. As I said, the run from Barnes, as we take a look here at the infringement committed by Brown.
Right decision by the referee.
Yes, I feel the Barnes run was just a little, he just went inside rather than going towards that far post, and that way he would have given himself a double chance. If the ball, was short, he could have run towards it. If it was long, he could have just tapped it in.
Free kick for Arnett Gardens, not dealt with properly, and a shot from Arnett.
Yeah, on that occasion was 2 Molynes players getting in each other's way. The communication not forthcoming there.
Shot by Luca Kong. Wide of the target. Not dealt with properly by Molynes United. And just a snapshot there by Luca Kong.
I think it was Damian Thomas and Kemar Sievert that got in each other's, went for the same ball.
Right. Molynes now with Fakibe Ferguson, ran out of real estate, couldn't keep that one in. It will be a throw for Arnett.
So often you come into games, Chris, and you hear about battling midfield and teams cancelling each other out. These 2 teams pretty much going through the middle of the park quite quickly and looking to go forward. A lot of wide plays from both teams. We saw that early from Molynes down below us here on their right side, and Arnett also doing a lot of work down their right flank.
Well, you do. Both players to watch are midfielders in the middle of the park that can really impact the game for either team. Romeo Guthrie, the captain, and Fakibe Ferguson from Molynes. Don't want to meet that pass.
I think there was an opportunity for Arnett to retain possession on that clearance. No communication from keeper or defenders around him, because there was no Molynes player inside when he booted that one out.
So Sergino Frankson, he was fouled by Luca Kong. It will be a free kick for Molynes United. Just an infringement.
Yeah, hand on the back of the player. And these players these days, they just go down, and once they feel the contact.
Yeah, and of course the bench, we see no goalkeepers on the bench for Molynes United.
Chris, I hope you don't put a commentator's curse on them for them to be called upon. And there's for goalkeeper Leon Taylor to be in any issues today.
Free kick for Molynes United, so inside the 18-yard box, headed out by Roberts. Arnett Gardens loses possession, and Earl Simpson fouls Sergina Frankson, and another free kick for Molynes United. Just skipping by Simpson was Frankson, and as I said, a very versatile player. Mostly in the Super League, he was playing in the defense, was actually the captain at one point. So knows how to play in the defense and the middle of the park. Sergina Frankson might be a terror here for Arnett Gardens. Here's the free kick for Maligned. Ball swung inside the 18-yard box, and dealt with again by Arnett. Steve Wright, ball sent across, not a bad ball indeed, headed goalwards, side netting, and Amal Knight saw that one all the way through. Goal kick for Arnett.
Yes, need a team with a lot of activities in front of goal, but no shots yet on target from either teams. But you can't say it's a dull affair. A lot of times there's see games, not a lot of goal mount activities. You are getting some of that here, just not the type of quality you want to see in front of goal.
We'll be excited to see as the game goes on what happens between these two teams.
I think if they want to make a move on it to get up the table, a win is what they would both want. A draw result is not something I think they'll be pleased with, either of these two teams.
Not at all, especially Molynes United, who are rooted at the bottom of the table. And a shot at goal is never going to trouble Amal Knight. That shot by Akeem Stewart.
And despite you mentioned that they're rooted at the bottom of the table on 2 points, they're 6 points off the top teams with a game in hand. So a win today, 3 points off the top 6. So you know it's a tight table. But yeah, I think there's still a chance for them to really get their season on track. And like I said, a game in hand. These two teams, Arnett is just 5 points off the top 6 position. So again, a win with a game in hand will just put them 2 points off.
It's a very interesting season indeed. But teams will be fighting for that playoff spot. Of course, we know first and second would have that automatic bye from the first round. They will be in the semi-finals. And then from 3 to 6, they would battle it out in the first round and then progress to the semi-finals.
Yeah, in that playoff, many people argue whether or not it's a plus for teams to sit and wait on the others, and we've seen it a few times in the past where the team sitting and waiting and the others to progress to the semi. Didn't do well in the semi, so it'll be interesting to see how those teams who will make that immediate semi-final spot will do, but that's a long way off.
Earl Simpson now for Arnett. Chips by one, challenge, chips it forward for Steve Clark. Clark for Luca Kong, shot blocked. Roberts. And his cross was blocked. Alex Thomas says there's some lack of complacency in the second half. The first half, they've always done well, never trailed.
No, they've never trailed, even when they've lost games, and they've lost 3. Arnett, they've always been level at the half.
Arnett now, an opportunity for Arnett, and a chance here. That's the first goal of the contest. Arnett now leading by a 1-0 here in the 19th minute. There is an injury, but it seems to be Ronaldo Cephas that got on the score sheet. And Arnett starting positively, 1-0.
Yeah, Cephas just cutting inside, not out wide as he's customary, coming between the two defenders, and that's the half space that we talk about exploit. It's very often two defenders side of that half space, not sure who is to go and engage, and on that occasion we saw he dare not touch him at that time. It was Damian Thomas, couldn't touch Cephas with that pace, any slight touch and he'd go over in the box. But you get that, it's a ricochet, it looks like it could be an own goal, but it's all to the credit at Cephas. A ricochet from the goalkeeper onto the onrushing, the recovering defender, and it has been given as an official own goal. Akeem Stewart with the dubious tag onto him of providing that, but give Cephas credit, he drove into the box at pace, and he's a wonderful player when he's at full flight, and when he's up to it, Arnett looks a different team. But too often this season Arnett have not been able to keep him in the game or get him going. The game against I think it was Molynes, he was just brilliant all day, kept running, but subsequent to that, the 3 games that they lost, he was a non-factor. And already we saw him today early in the game exploiting the space down the flank and just reward.
That was a good run by Ronaldo Cephas, and got rewarded for that very good run. And yes, it's credited as an own goal, but really credit him for just plugging to the spaces between the two defenders, and just got in a goal scoring opportunity and space, and he did convert. Arnett Gardens can attack again through Cephas once more, but Thomas dealing with that.
I think the 2 wide players that Molynes have in Tyrese Winter, he's playing on the left side, and Shajini Frankson. I think Coach Anthony Patrick will have to get them playing more like a 5 at the back just to stem the tide of this Arnett team.
Ball sent inside the 18-yard box, and Arnett just causing all sorts of problems against Maligned United.
And you saw there when Cephas was almost at the 6-yard box, coming in and bearing down on goal, Tyrese Winter, the left back for Molynes, was nowhere near that. He was walking back at the top of the 18-yard box. So I think they're going to have to make some adjustment to stop this onslaught from Arnett in these wide areas.
Another opportunity for Arnett. Short corner, sent inside but blocked, and again another corner for Arnett Gardens. This just has been an attacking onslaught so far in the last 5 minutes or so from Arnett, led to a goal. Another short corner, sent across once more, got 3 inside but blocked again, this time by Winter. Cephas sent inside the 18-yard box, nobody's collected too much on it. Luca Kong against Farquharson, goes into touch, and it will be a throw for Arnett.
Yeah, we mentioned too that Arnett has done very well in the first half of their opening 4 games. We feel like with the hydration break, I think, now upon us, these players, it's really hot out there, humid. We're feeling it here, so we know the players out there will need this hydration break, and I emphasize need based on the fact that they have gone at it from end to end. But we've mentioned that Arnett has been good in the opening 4 games in the first half. You feel they'd want to stretch their lead in this first half and get 2 goals to have a cushion, because their second halves not been quite good. Though they say they have worked on it, they may not see the immediate results coming into this game, not the type of improvement that may be able to create a good buffer for them to hold on to this 1-goal lead. But you feel they need to push on and get a second goal.
Well, the goalkeeping coach Lamar Brown did state that they've been working on the attack, and certainly you've seen the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, I think Molynes to have made it a bit easier, not to take anything away from Arnett, but the fact that they have provided the type of setup that have 3 at the back.
And look at this for a run between the defenders. Very good work by Ronaldo Cephas. Ricocheted off Hakeem Stewart. Didn't close down the space properly. And that's your first goal. Very good run by Cephas.
Yeah, that's what you talk about, exploiting those half spaces. And like I said before, it's difficult to defend it because the defenders are not quite sure who should go. And by the time they decide on it, and a player would have already gone through, and you dare not touch him. And you feel, we'll see now coming out of this hydration break whether or not there's any instruction from Anthony Patrick for his Molynes team, for his wide players in Winter and Frankson to really start a little deeper and give them a platform on which to build and not concede anymore. They don't want to go too far behind.
They still have some time to go. Just under 20 minutes left in this half plus added time. Wouldn't want to rush things and again be open, because Arnett do have the personnel to make you pay. The referee says it's a goal kick, but they will need that man for Keeper Farquharson to really muster up something here in the first half to at least be level heading into half time. But they have some work to do, Maligned. Stewart. Steve Wright. Calling for a pass, but a very bad pass by Steve Wright. Now it's with Guthrie. Guthrie tried to thread that ball through, but no one there to meet it. Now it's Tyrese Winter of Maligned United. Sends that ball forward. Ezra Simpson saw that one and shielded Lamar Nelson off the ball, and Nelson ended up fouling Ezra Simpson. Very good defensive work by Simpson, getting the free kick for Arnett.
Yeah, you could see clever work by him. He just checked his run and just allowed the player to bite and just barged into him. And like I said, once these players in modern day feel contact, they go to ground.
A bit of trickery, so to speak.
The defenders need to be smarter. I think quite interestingly too, we've seen a lot of Cephas. Molynes must be wary because we have not seen a lot of Clark yet, and he's the other player out wide who normally goes at the same pace and rate as Cephas. If he gets into it, then it could be a long day for the defenders for Molynes in Steve Wright and Thomas and Stewart.
Very much so. They do have Hardly Barnes, who is in for Donovan Sikri, who is out with a muscle injury, stated by goalkeeper Coach Brown.
And despite you're not getting the goals from Barnes, what he does, he's a willing runner. So he's always going to attract defenders to him, and with three at the back, he will take at least one of the defenders out, and that will certainly free up room for the wide players and even third runners coming.
Throw for Molynes. And the possession, as I was told, 52 to 48% in favor of Arnett. So not only are they leading in the most important stat line, but possession-wise, they've made it work.
Yeah, they've made it work, and as I said, credit to Cephas and the midfielders who are finding that space to play that ball into the wide areas for Cephas to run onto. Molynes would rue the early opportunities they got in this game. They did get a few good look-ins early in the game and just blazed them wide and over. And you feel those are opportunities for them to really get on the score sheet.
Thomas boots that ball forward to find the captain Nelson, who instead just heads it back to the goalkeeper, or the opposing goalkeeper. Arnett Gardens can attack again, but Seabright says nope, stops that attack dead in its tracks. Sergina Frankson of Maligned, searching for a pass, trying to find Nelson, couldn't. Luca Cock lays it up for Earl Simpson. Barnes. Martin. Cephas now receives it.
Well done. One step on them, one step. Chucky over your shoulder.
And Arnett just not rushing things at the moment, but they do give away possession. And Lamar Nelson could attack, but the attack was stopped. And the referee Morrison says no foul. And there's a player down on the field for Arnett, and it seems to be Ezra Simpson. And it is.
Yeah, it was a timely challenge from him. Just hurt himself, might have just extended himself too much. But yeah, but certainly he needed to make that challenge. As that ball was passed through to Nelson. It just fell awkwardly. Yeah, as he got up, he just had to go down, roll on the ball a bit, but that challenge, you felt, had he not made that challenge, Ezra Simpson, you get the feeling that Nelson would have been through on goal, and Amal Knight would have been called into question.
Simpson, of course, was grimacing in pain immediately after getting up from that challenge. Still the one goal in it, and it's an own goal by Hakeem Stewart, but Arnett Gardens will take it.
Certainly take it, and the nature of the own goal as well. You still give credit to the attacking player who asked the goalkeeper to make a decision here, to come and make a save, and the recovery run from the defender. There's just nothing he could have done about it in terms of Hakeem Stewart. It just came to him so quickly.
And not a good sign for Ezra Simpson. And it seems as though Arnett Gardens will make a substitution.
Oh, yeah, it was an important challenge. You would have wanted him to make it and still stay on the park. It's been an ever-present force for Arnett since the start of the season. We've seen that, and we saw it as well. Another defender in Simpson here going out.
Of course.
Earlier this week, in the first day game, our second game of match day 6, we did see Myers from Portmore as defender having to come out early.
Right. Ball sent across inside the 18-yard box.
There was one wide player trying to find the other, and as I spoke earlier, Clark looking for Cephas. That's a dangerous combination for Molynes to allow to play out, and they're going to want to have to stop it.
See the player once more, just turning and trying to find Ronaldo Cephas.
And maybe Cephas should have just come from the blind side and come out to in and run across the defender.
As we see the substitution confirmed, and Neil Anderson is coming in for Ezra Simpson. Now Maligned United has to defend this corner. Guthrie with the corner, sent it inside, tried to find the near post. But Arnett Gardens still coming forward. The captain, Guthrie, again sent it inside. An opportunity for Arnett Gardens. And hardly Barnes couldn't latch on to that one properly. Very good opportunity for Arnett Gardens to double their advantage.
Yeah, Barnes, and he took it away from another Arnett player that was coming, that might have been in a better position, coming towards facing goal. So Barnes, not only did he miss that one, but he also acted as a defender for Molynes, because he took that away.
Thomas feeling some sort of pain. Seems to be his hip. Walking gingerly, as they would say. So, just being attended to by the medical staff, it is. In fact, his hip seems to be a collision from that corner. But play still resumes. Frankson. Thomas. Passing forward. Nothing at the end, but they still regain possession. Frankson on the attack for Molynes. It's still Frankson.
Earl Simpson have gotten away with one there, but maybe the referee deemed that Frankson went down a little bit too easy on that occasion. But you see the difference there with Molynes playing down the line. Arnett, they play with a right back and a left back. On that occasion, it's 1v1 until help comes, and Arnett was able to provide numbers up. The opposite is for Molynes when the ball is played wide of their penalty area.
That ball collected by Amal Knight.
There's no defender to engage, or the central defenders have to come across, and very often are late because they play pretty much in the center of the 18-yard box.
Cephas was hounded by two Maligned United players, and the referee just stopping play. And he seems to be issuing another yellow card, and he is Ronaldo Cephas getting a yellow card.
Yeah, I think he was trying to stop the quick restart from Molynes. He was off the park, so he wanted to get back on. Not allowed to do that. I think you want to feel that Damian Thomas made a lot more of that than there was, but it seemed to work. The referee bought it, and even so, I think Cephas would have been shown the yellow card for obstructing a restart, not giving the required distance.
There's some tussle going on between Fakibe Ferguson, it seems, and Janoy Cunningham, so they'll have to keep a cool head.
It's just an arm from Cunningham that I think caught the lower cheek for Cephas. I don't think it wasn't hard. It just came across and touched him. I guess because of losing the ball as well, and he's frustrated. You feel he was operating a lot on the right side for Molynes, and now over to the left. I think Cunningham reaching out to him, trying to just calm things down. The referee has asked for them to so do.
And also mediator.
Yes, he feel if they were to go at it again, there would be something coming from his pocket.
And there was a reaction by Fakibe Ferguson for that hand to the chin of Ferguson by Cunningham, but cooler heads prevailed.
Yeah, cooler heads prevail on that occasion, and give credit also, because the referee, you want to feel he handled that one very well. And Morrison, give referee Morrison some credit there.
Frankson getting by Barnes. Referee says it was a foul committed by Frankson, and it will be a free kick for Arnett. And he's just explaining to Frankson, referee Morrison, why he gave that free kick. Provision.
Yeah, he got the ball, and I think that's what Frankson's saying, but he went over the top a bit. If you could see here, just over the top with the studs. There you see it, into the shin. Yeah, so I think it was the right call from referee Morrison.
And in good spirits, of course.
Go wide, go wide, go wide.
Not the best defensive clearance by Seavright, but they still have possession, Molynes. Now it's with Sergina Frankson. Available back for Stewart. Arnett now can attack. Ball sent across. Cephas. Over to Roberts.
Just
Couldn't control.
I think too much was on it from Cephas. Just too much weight on that pass. But it was good link-up play from Cephas and Roberts. And it's been that way throughout the game so far. Roberts, even from deep, playing that ball down the channel to Cephas a lot.
I think that's what made it so effective in the first half a lot of times for Arnett. There's been such a good communication with the wing backs or the full backs and the wing players, which is why they've been so effective. So that's why it begs the question, what goes wrong in the second half between these players in terms of communication? And a foul by Luca Kong on Fakibe Farquharson, so they'll have to fix that. Fakibe Farquharson, ball sent across to try and find Lamar Nelson, couldn't. And it's still just for possession. Referee, I think he says it's a handled ball and a free kick for Arnett. Romeo Guthrie wanted to take that one quickly, but there were still some Maligned players in the way. Yeah, it is in fact a handled ball by the captain of Molynes, and the captain for Arnett just signaling to the referee that there was an infringement.
I think Nicholas Nelson was just saying, I knew nothing about that, but I guess to gain an advantage from that, I think the referee was obliged to make the call.
Molynes United in possession through Steve Wright. Brown over to find Frankson. Passing forward to find Nicholas Nelson, but collected, and very good communication between Cunningham and Amal Knight to just secure that ball and regain possession. Martin over for Roberts. Roberts in the middle of the park and finds Luca Kong. Ball sent across to find Ronaldo Cephas, and again Cephas collects nicely for Arnett, and Arnett can attack still. Cephas regains possession, just between him and Steve Wright. And not the best cross by the captain, Guthrie. Still regain possession, so Arnett have been pressing a lot in this one. Clark, ball sent inside. Oh, hits the crossbar, hits the frame of the goal, and Leon Taylor, I believe, would have been beaten. That was a very good shot by Harley Barnes, and Molynes United can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they do. Really peppering the goal. I think Clark was testing that might have been a save from Taylor, and he wanted a corner kick.
I don't think that was a save at all. That just hit the frame of the goal. So Leon Taylor very lucky. And look again at the opportunity. Was not a good cross by Romeo Guthrie.
Yeah, you saw he was going to go one time to get it early in there, but Barnes didn't give up the chase once that ball was played into the box to Clark. And then a shot on goal, not conclusive there. It might have been, if it did touch his hand, it might have been, but we'd have a look here.
No.
Looked to have been beaten.
He was beaten in that
And I think
shot.
he would be happy for the post to save him there, because you feel he was there, and had it gone in, it's a save that you felt the goalkeeper should have made. Didn't have a lot of power on it. It was a foot side from Barnes.
Of course, Sportsmax, of course, through Donald Oliver did call a goal similar to that opportunity. Of course, the man, they call him Mr. Man, did score that one for Arnett. But here's Molynes United now. Offensive work by Janoi Cunningham. The referee says it's a corner, and the Arnett Gardens player saying no. And the referee still resolute in his decision.
I thought the Maligned player has the player that played it back into the... Let's have a look here.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely Arnett does have a case here, and if they were to concede from this, you'd have to say referee Morrison got that one wrong. I don't know if it was positioning which caused it to happen, because it did touch the Arnett player first, then hit the shin of the Molynes player and went behind.
Corner for Molynes. Ball swung inside the 18-yard box, headed goalwards by Sergina Frankson, and a shot at goal. Now we can definitively say it came off of an Arnett player.
Yes, and the play before that, the Molynes player, even with the corner signal by referee Morrison, played the ball, just passed the ball back to Arnett to take the goal kick.
He knew it was a goal kick. Referee Morrison was resolute in his decision that it was a corner.
Yeah, that's the case, and this first half was really flown by. I think the fourth official indicating 2 additional minutes at the end of this one. We see Roberts, Shane Roberts,
the right back, vice captain of the team. He's down on the field.
He took one on all the work on the abdominals in pre-season, coming into play there to help him out. Coach Patrick there will have a lot to adjust, you feel. He's stuck to the gun with the 3 central defenders and playing 2 wide attacking players who really don't track back that much in Frankson and Winter.
Good defensive work by Molynes. It will be a throw, however, to Arnett. So Coach Thomas will be happy that he more than likely will be heading into halftime leading,
and it would continue the trend that Arnett has set this season in terms of not trailing at any stage of this tournament at the halfway of any game.
Steve Clark attempted a shot there, but he was blocked by Tyrese Winter.
Oh, that was lovely skill from Guthrie.
Lovely skill from the captain, Romeo Guthrie. And that's why he's been a threat. That's why we have him as a player to watch.
I mean, that was just lovely. I think Daniel Thomas will regret having gone in there. It measured him. It was, you could watch that over and over.
That flick over the head, we call it a pile. It was so clean. A shot at goal by Guthrie would have been great to maybe get that one.
Not the same execution of the technique there. I think he hit across that one. With the ball coming across his body from left to right, he felt he needed to come around that ball. Hitting it, he should be from right to left, and you felt he just went across it.
And that signals the end of the first half after 45 minutes. An own goal by the man Akeem Stewart after a very good run by Ronaldo Sifa. So Alex Thomas, the coach of Arnett, will be the happier of the 2 coaches. So at the end of the first half, 45 minutes have concluded, and it is Arnett who lead against Molynes by a 1-0. And the referee Morrison has signaled the start of the second half here at the Captain Horsburgh Centre of Excellence, Arnett Gardens, leading by a 0-0. And they'll be looking to increase that tally. Anderson sends that ball inside, headed out, but Guthrie with a shot at goal, wide of the target again. So at the beginning of this second half, Arnett have been attacking the same that they did in the first. So you're just concerned about the legs in terms of how long they can keep this one up.
Yeah, and as I said, you just feel they would want to get that cushion, second goal, and provide for them a cushion. Or do we hear that a 2-goal lead is always a dangerous lead to have in the sport? I'm pretty sure they'll prefer it than the 1 goal.
They would. Arnett Gardens through Roberts, and a brilliant ball to try and find Steve Clark. Had that ball been through, it would have been trouble for Molynes, but they have dealt with it. And Leon Taylor collects.
And just to clarify why they think the 2-goal lead sometimes a dangerous lead, a team that goes 2 up tends to relax, thinking that they're safe and they're good, and the opponent just keeps telling themselves just 1 goal in it. If we can get back, we're in it. And then once they get back in it, and the nerves kick in for that team leading by 2, leading now by a goal, and then they don't play with the same quality
and intensity too.
Yes.
Roberts got through over to Martin. Martin sends that ball wide to Anderson, the substitute. Got 3. Just patiently passing his Arnett. And how patient is that pass? Thomas loses possession but regains it. Maligned. Now it's with Nicholas Nelson, the captain. Ball sent across to try and find Fakibe Farquharson. He's jostling for possession with Anderson, and Fakibe Farquharson does foul and O'Neill Anderson, and it will be a free kick for Arnett.
I think Farquharson will be a little bit disappointed here, because they just got the wrong side of Anderson, but then allowed Anderson to recover well. But give Anderson credit, he did use his body to his advantage.
Defended well. Normally that's what they do, they just shield the attacker off the ball and basically force them to commit the foul and regain possession, then just restart play. Anderson. Put out by Steve Wright. Molynes United not want to rush things and getting that equalizer. Patience is the name of the game. You wouldn't want to rush things and leave yourself open, because as we know, Arnett do have dangerous players that can punish you. Now the Sifa, Steve Clark, even Hardley Barnes, who is coming in for Donovan Sigri. If you're just joining us, Sigri has a muscle injury, so it's Hardley Barnes, the number 9, that takes his spot. And again, that final pass in the attacking third for Arnett, just not able to muster up any opportunity. Here's Steve Clark, however, he was fouled by Stewart. King Stewart not having necessarily the best day for Molynes United, that's for sure.
Well, I think if you are alluding to the own goal, he wouldn't have been pleased that it's credited to his name, but in fairness to him, he knew nothing about it.
Very good play to keep the ball inside Ronaldo Cephas, but he is hounded. And he's muscled off the ball by Damian Thomas. Brown sends that ball up, only to meet the head of Cunningham, and Arnett again regaining possession. Here's Anderson. He was fouled by Fakibe Farquharson. Fakibe Farquharson has made runs here and there. There's some spurts here and there, but he's been relatively quiet in terms of attacking for Molynes.
Yeah, early in the half when the game just started, he had a look in and snapped at the shot and sent it wide. Since then, nothing forthcoming. I think that's, you talk about taking your early chances, making the most of it, because you just don't know how the game will change.
Ball sent inside for Arnett. Dealt with by Molynes United. It's still Arnett with possession. Cephas. and there was some disruption of play.
I think the ball struck the referee, and you know the rule is that once it hit him, then he'll have to restart the game with a drop ball to the team that was in possession. All right, have a look here at the free kick. Cephas, referee in the way. Yeah, look, the referee not swift enough. The thing is that you want to be close enough to the play, but not interfering with the play. So he could give himself a yellow card. Do you think?
Probably.
But he starts it back with a drop ball, as we suggested.
And of course, you know, those unwritten rules in football. Luka Kong just giving it back to Molynes.
I think he was looking for a pass there. The player didn't respond, but
we can assume what we want to assume.
Possible. But what I've seen Arnett doing in the second half, you talk about being burnt out. I think what they're trying to do is to win the ball high up the field. It will take some amount of energy to do so. However, the fact that they win it in the attacking third means that they have less distance to travel to go to goal. That was a vital interception there from
Earl
Simpson.
And Maligned United attacking. Referee says it's a foul, and it will be a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. Nicholas Nelson, the captain.
Simpson did well, Earl Simpson, initially to intercept the pass, but then just a little bit rush of blood there, adrenaline flowing, just dived in. He was at the right side, he was goal side, and sometimes as a defender you don't have to try and win the ball. You're in a very good position as a defender. You try to stop the player from turn, you try and stop the pass, no turn, no shoot. That occasion the player already had the ball, you just try and stop him from turn and pass. I think Simpson just exerted too much there, just wanting to win the ball.
Well, Maligned United now have an opportunity. Amal Knight just constructing his wall.
That was pretty close, right on the edge, but 26 yards out. I think this one could favor a right footer at goal, left footer serving up a pass.
Nelson, the captain, opportunity, and it just parried over the bar by Amal Knight. Yeah. That was dangerous.
They definitely favor the right footer going at goal. If they were looking to set it up, it would have been the left, but Nelson just foot side looking to go over. Knight there just coming a bit off his line. I think he was looking to probably try and cheat in case there was a cross, but definitely from the right footer goal went over it. You knew it was going to be a shot on goal.
Corner for Maligned. Ball sent inside the 18-yard box. Nobody to meet it. Goalkeeper Farquharson would have been one to head that goalwards, and of course Amal Knight would be happy that that was not an equalizer from Molynes.
Yeah, would have been happy to see out the danger. As I said, just a little bit off his line, almost get caught out, but quality goalkeeper he is. He's, you know, had a stint in the USL, and so you expect him to make those saves.
Of course, former UE goalkeeper.
And he was a part of the national setup.
He was. That tour where he played Saudi Arabia. He was a part of the national team.
Yeah, but as he said, you know, with his contract out in the USL, he didn't want to sit and not be active. So once he came back, UE out the competition, so we see the foul there on Clark, he had to get himself active. And Arnett, right place for him. Rodriguez going out, getting a spot.
Arnett sending that ball inside, but dealt with by Maligned United. Arnett still with possession. Roberts.
Step up, step up, step up, step up.
And you would say that maybe Arnett is just edging Maligned out in the middle of the park, but a foul and a yellow card on O'Neill Anderson. So we see the foul again here by Frankson did very well, Sergina Frankson, to get by Anderson. Arnett possession through Cephas. Referee says no foul as we see the confirmation of the yellow card issued by Morrison to Anderson. Thomas to Frankson.
I think
Maligned United not the best pass in the end by Akeem Brown.
I think Akeem Brown was been told that maybe the pass down the middle was better. I think what Molynes is trying to do, because Arnett is pressing high and they're pressing as a team, they're holding a high line, and we've seen on a few occasions Molynes looking to play into the space for Nelson to run into. And if they could just get Nelson and Farquharson to run into that space, Arnett will have to be mindful.
Here's Ronaldo Cephas for Arnett. Sent inside the 18-yard box, and another opportunity for Hartley Barnes. You saw that in the first half with Ronaldo Cephas and Hartley Barnes, but Barnes still cannot connect. A very good run by Ronaldo Cephas and a very good run by Barnes, and just couldn't connect with the right foot.
Yeah, Barnes, good run here from Barnes. He just ghosted behind Kemar Sieve, right? And again, just couldn't sort his foot out. You felt he needed to open up and go with that left, but again, not sorting his foot out. And it's a player who makes the run, he's not going to stop with all the fact that he's missing the opportunities. He's a willing runner. I feel it's a player that Coach Thomas and his coaching staff will have to take just a goal in front of him and just take him through a lot of finishing drills, because he shows up for the passes, creating the opportunities, which is very difficult in the game. He's doing the hard part. Just need to sort his feet out.
Will they rule that opportunity? Foul on Luca Kong by Sergina Frankson. Free kick for Arnett.
Kong very fortunate there. He just dwelled on it for too long, almost got caught in possession. Playing as his players are saying, he's playing as if he's the only player on the park. Molynes wanting to get back into this one. Certainly will not have all the time that he desires.
Nicholas Nelson.
But as we know, Kong is still learning his craft. He's still a young player. Kong just 18 years of age.
Ball sent inside for Nicholas Nelson. A very good save by Amal Knight. Nelson finally has received the ball to get that goal scoring opportunity, but a very good save, an excellent save by Amal Knight.
Very good save. We just spoke about the high line, and Molynes looking as Arnett looks to retreat from that high line, played in, and Earl Simpson just not aware of where Nelson was, and would have been the culprit there had Arnett conceded.
Very, very good save.
Excellent save, and we're in the 60th minute, which is round about the time where Arnett tends to be vulnerable, and we're seeing that sign here now, as we said. Apart from the game that they won 2-1 over Humber Lion, they have conceded and lost the other 3 games, conceding goals in or about 59 or 60 minutes going down the hill. So now we will wait to see whether or not the work that the coaching staff has done to keep them concentrated will bear fruit, but vulnerable times now for Arnett.
So you see Akeem Brown coming off, and Kemar Reid taking the field, and of course Nicholas Nelson, the captain's brother, is coming on, and we see the likes of Marvin Emmanuel coming off. Ball tends inside for Maligned United, and another opportunity. Referee has signaled another corner for Molynes. So Nelson's brother, Nicholas Nelson's brother, Jeremy Nelson, has taken the field.
Number 20.
Will there be a brotherly connection to maybe get an equalizer? Nelson with the corner. Nicholas Nelson sent inside for Molynes. And again another good ball for Molynes United for a player to latch on to that one. But they're not able to. And there's a player down. Maligned gets back up. There was a stopping play for a moment. As we see the confirmation, Marvin Emmanuel coming off and Kamar Reed taking the pitch. So I'm all night. I suspected that his finger might be broken. So the medical staff, and you see him writhing in pain. That left hand seems to be a broken finger.
You feel it might have been from that point blank save?
I think it is from that point blank save.
It was Nelson. And as it is, I did say to you earlier, Chris, when you spoke about Molynes not having a goalkeeper on their bench, and I said, hope it wasn't a goalkeeper coach. Little did I know it was the jinx. You still had that curse on goalkeepers today. You're gonna have to own up to that today.
I will not take no ownage to that one. But Saquon Davis will be replacing Amal Knight in between the sticks. And you saw where he was writhing in pain. He went down and he got up immediately, but the pain was too unbearable. So he is replaced, and Saquon Davis is in goal. A throw for Molynes. And there was a call for a penalty.
Substitution, number 40, Saquon Davis, for number 55, Amal Knight.
And it was Jeremy Nelson. There was somewhat a hand to the face, it seems, by Earl Simpson, but referee Morrison says no penalty. As we see the confirmation for the change of goalkeeper Saquon Davis for Amal Knight. Steve Wright. Ball sent inside the 18-yard box, now dealt with by Cunningham, but Saquon Davis does collect. So just prying that one away a little bit was Davis. Was controlled by Ronaldo Cephas. Throw for Molynes. Taken quickly by Tyrese Winter. Winter receives it again. And a wayward pass right into the gloves of the goalkeeper Saquon Davis.
So Arnett now will look to reorganize and really get back into this one in terms of dominating possessions and attack.
They would want to. The starting goalkeeper, as we see, it's just dead even, 50-50 between the two teams. But again, like I said, the all-important stat line at the moment is in favor of Arnett Gardens, who are leading by a goal to nil. They would want to see this one through, but Molynes United would have to just continue to press and pressure that defense of Arnett Gardens. Ball sent across to find Steve Clark. Not the best control, but it's still Hadley Barnes dealt with nicely by Frankson. Molynes United were in trouble. Nicholas Nelson. Could they turn good defense into good attack? Sent across. Finds Frankson nicely. Call for offside and still an opportunity. That's the equalizer. The captain, Nicholas Nelson, leading from the front. And realized there was a mix-up at the back and the goalkeeper. And Nicholas Nelson converts. Alice Thomas again.
We've spoken about it, and can we, just like a broken record we're sounding here, for the first time here, I mean, rather than playing, we see a pour from the defender here, appealing for an offside. Simpson, it was Earl Simpson, who during that time would have lost a few yards on the attacker. And that's poor from him, but take nothing away from the goal here. Good ball into the box by the Molynes number 20 in terms of Kamar Reed, substitute coming on. And Nelson there certainly would not miss from that distance. Good ball across the box, but the goalkeeper not yet warmed up, you feel. And you felt your goalkeeper should have dealt with that one.
Should have dealt with that one. And he had 3 other defenders in the box. So maybe you would have wanted them to clear it rather than going down and parrying it, because Nicholas Nelson is the type of player that really, as we see the substitution for Arnett Gardens, and it is Luca Kong that will be making way for Nathan Thomas.
It's certainly just deja vu again for Arnett Gardens, because as we've mentioned before, never in their opening 4 games, and even including this 5th one, never trailed at half-time. But we talk about the 60th minute, round about that time where Arnett seems to be vulnerable. And if we look at the statistics, so we see the water break taken at this point, we look at the stats, and what it shows us is that against Tivoli Gardens in their opening game, they conceded that goal which caused them to lose the game by a goal to nil in the 68th minute. Against Mount Pleasant, they conceded in the 79th minute. And when they lost to Cavaliers by 3 goals to nil, that first goal against Cavalier came in the 59th or 60th minute. So in that situation, we see it again playing over, where Arnett conceded this goal in the 67th minute. So right on cue. And that's something they certainly will have to work on. We see Barnes coming out here.
Yes, it's hardly Barnes, and coming in, it seems to be Shadane Lopez.
And Barnes, many would suggest, and I think Arnett will rule that, because Barnes had a few good opportunities in the first half. And even in the second half too, the start of it, but just couldn't put it away. You have to give, if it's credit to the coaching staff for Arnett, they have stuck with him, but really and truly, he has to start firing.
And Nathan Thomas coming on for Luca Kong. Former Kingston College man, Nathan Thomas. And if you remember correctly, did score that one in the game against St. George's College in the 2018 Manning Cup final. Also part of that commentary team. As a sight to behold. Will he be effective here? Very robust player. Persons actually name him Kante, Nathan Thomas, because the similarities between him and the French midfielder and the Chelsea midfielder as well. So
I wonder how close that similarity is. Jamaicans have a way of attaching big names to players, and not that he's not taking anything away from the player, but pretty sure there's a lot of work to do to get to the stage of Conte.
Would want to have a lot of work to do in order to get 3 points for Arnett Gardens. And you did state that both teams, as we see a very good backheel pass to Jeremy Nelson, but he couldn't send the ball up front. But Sergina Franklin sets that one inside, collected by Shaquan Davis. And Nelson just being a menace up front against this Arnett Gardens team. Has been very active since coming on, and he's up there with his brother Nicholas Nelson. But it was another substitute, Kemar Reed, that provided that cross. So we see another good pass up front, but Nicholas Nelson was caught offside. Just would want to time his run a little better, Nicholas Nelson, and that doesn't seem offside at all.
Maybe just leaning into. I think it's just, that's pretty close, but it's leaning into. It looks like that's what might have put off referee, but yeah, you're right, very, very close.
Reed wanted to lay that one off. Now it's with Nicholas Nelson, and Shaquan Davis had to come and help the defense again.
I got lucky there. You felt Nelson there just looking like he got away from him. Nicholas there, just look at it, just took it out of the path, but keeper alert on that occasion.
Very alert. Maligned United, the more aggressive of the two, from about minute 60 to now. So within that realm, and you spoke about commentator's curse. A ball sent across to Kemar Reed, and wanted to find his captain but couldn't. Janoi Cunningham intercepted that pass, but Maligned United again regains possession. Winter couldn't find Reed, instead finds the boot of Earl Simpson, and he was fouled by Reed. Free kick for Arnett.
Again, Arnett just not moving with the same urgency and energy that they did in the first half, and you beg to wonder, as I said earlier, is it the case of just extending themselves too much in that first half? We saw Simpson there just taking a long time to try and make that pass.
Is it fatigue? They put too much energy in the first half and just played into the hands of Maligned. Maligned's not a bullet start team, as we see Nicholas Nelson again caught offside, just sneaking more and more behind that defense. And if he is onside in another position like that, you'd think that Arnett Gardens again would be in trouble and might go behind for the first time in this game.
Yeah, you feel so, and I think again Arnett has persisted with the high line, and Maligned just looking to exploit the space in behind. So not a ball's being played over the top, or good thinking there. Just goalkeeper seemed to have been off his lines there. Goalkeeper Davis.
Arnett would not want to go behind and ultimately lose this game. It'd be devastating for them. Reed finds the boot of Cunningham, and there's a wayward clearance. Seems to be somewhat frustrated with how things have panned out so far in the second half. Maligned United, still Maligned. Now Kemar Reed, and a missed kick by Kemar Reed.
He definitely had reasons to go for it. There was nicely laid off to him, and Kemar Reed there just snapping his fingers, thinking Coach Anthony Patrick there being the big cheerleader, trying to get his team to push on, with the fact that they're in the ascendancy here in terms of attacking and possession wise. You feel they look the most dangerous of the two teams. He wants that advantage to count.
Roberts bossing forward, and
Went out for a corner kick.
Does go for a corner. Clark still trying to find a way to score in this game. Liam Taylor still have to be careful.
It is a throw-in.
It's a throw. Clark to Roberts, and the referee says he was offside.
It was pretty lazy from Clark. It wasn't Clark on that occasion. It
was Roberts.
Roberts who was lazy. Clark had played it back.
Free kick for Molynes. Cephas
has seen much of him in the second half.
Decided to drop deep. Cephas. Now it's Shadeen Lopez. Got 3. Sends that one inside. It's not a bad ball in the end, and a bicycle kick, an attempt at that, and goes wide of the target.
Lack of communication I felt there. Both Cephas and Clark seem to have gone for the same ball. Yeah, definitely. And maybe it was an opportunity for one to just drop off and provide the opportunity for Cephas or Clark to Cephas to lay off the Clark, who would have been facing goal, and so you would not have required that extravagant attempt at a overhead kick. Sometimes simplicity is the best order of the day. Back to goal, you felt he just needed to lay off to Clark.
Well, I tell you what, if that did score, it would have been something, but...
Yeah, that's the only way you can justify your actions like that. You would have to score. And he didn't on that occasion, so we go with the fact that he should have kept it simple.
So critical are you, Dwight?
And I'm just calling it as it is.
Just a poor possession. Search forward now. Ronaldo Cephas just doing so much for Arnett. Still Ronaldo Cephas. An opportunity for Arnett Gardens. Very good save by Leon Taylor. And it seems to be Shadeen Lopez that had that opportunity. But Ronaldo Cephas did very well on that left-hand side. As we see again here. Getting by Thomas, and he had Seavright to pass, and he did pass Seavright very well, and it was Steve Clark.
And there was also an opportunity here for Clark to just lay it off to Guthrie. I think Guthrie was sent off the goal. I know he swiveled and tried and turn, but a beautiful work again from Cephas. He just have such a great intimate relationship with the football, his feet. Really a good player. They just need to keep him in this game a lot. We just mentioned that we didn't see him a lot in the second half, and the minute he got on the ball, something happened for Arnett Gardens.
That ball intercepted by Thomas. Now it's with Nicholas Nelson over to Kemar Reed. Reed takes a shot at goal. Saw Shaquan Davis off his line.
It's the second time we've seen Maligned look to try and catch Davis out. Seems to be a goalkeeper that tends to come with the team. As the team goes and press, he walks up. Might need to be a little more aware to, once the possession is turned over, to begin to analyze his position.
You don't want to get caught off your line and get a goal like that. So
one of the most embarrassing things for goalkeepers.
Definitely. Clark. It's been challenged by Cunningham. Ball sent inside, and of course the referee calls it offside, and rightfully so.
Earl Simpson again appealing for the offside. We've seen calls in the game where referee and the assistants have made mistakes. I mean, one of the calls we felt was onside, and again you feel Simpson not learning here. Here he didn't go with the runner. He turned to appeal. Had that flag not gone up, then he would have been called into question there as to why he did it on the opening goal for the equalizing goal for Maligned, and not learning his lessons there.
1-1 between these two teams, and of course we talked about the the heat, and you have players taking off their shoes to just cool it down a bit with some water. As we come upon the second water break of this game, and Alex Thomas again, I wonder what he will do now to maybe calm things down a bit, because his team is still in. They can still, well, both teams can still get those 3 points, but he was leading and it was in favor of Arnett. The momentum was with Arnett, but then they just dropped off and allowed Maligned to get back into the game.
As I said, it was right on cue, right about the time frame when it happens. But also what we're seeing, as I said before, the second half we saw the higher line, much higher line from Arnett Gardens. They were pushing up, and Molynes was looking to exploit. They were looking to play the ball over the top a few times, but also there were in the second half more gaps appearing in this Arnett Gardens defense as opposed to the first half, and that's what I think Molynes have pretty much exploited in the second half. A bit more running into those spaces from their attacking players and their midfielders.
Foul committed by Kemar Reid and Neil Anderson. Just being too aggressive, Kemar Reid, and he did impede Anderson. Again, Arnett just losing possession waywardly. Now it's with Nicholas Nelson. He has 2 players to get by. He couldn't even get by the first one, Earl Simpson. And Arnett regained possession. Roberts forward to find Guthrie. He's done so much work in the middle of the park, but nothing to show for. Molynes United now through their captain Nelson. There's Cunningham to get by. Does get by somewhat, but Cunningham is still there. Winter. Sent across. Headed on by Guthrie, but collected by Molynes again. Seavright. Couldn't find Frankson, and Molynes United do go forward now. Ronaldo Cephas. Over to find Thomas, who sends it back for Guthrie. Guthrie over to Arnett, and Arnett with another opportunity. Shadeen Lopez again, but it falls to Marlon Martin. So Shadeen has switched over to the left for Arnett. It's with Clark. Clark couldn't find Ronaldo Cephas. So Arnett doing some attacking work here in these closing stages, but Maligned still, you would think, have some momentum going. Farquharson. Referee says it's an offside call, and Nicholas Nelson pointing to a player that maybe kept him on.
I mean, Arnett with Anderson coming on, or Simpson went into the middle of the park, and you wonder the fact that Ezra Simpson substituted in the first half, and Arnett just not the same defensive unit at the back, at least, with Simpson out. And you'd ask the question, well, it happened in the first half, they took the lead, but it's much easier when you're in possession most of the time, doing the bulk of the attacking. I think it shows up more now that they have come under some pressure in the second half from Molynes.
And now pressure applied by Arnett. Thomas. Arnett with possession. Cunningham.
Even the passes from Arnett appears to be short.
And Guthrie just muscled off the ball by Reid. Was appealing for a foul. Referee says no. A very good interception by Simpson. Roberts. Guthrie. Martin finds space on the left and gets it to Cephas. Stumbles on the ball a bit, but they still have possession. Ball sent inside, and not the best cross in the end. And it goes behind, and it will be a goal kick for Molynes United. We see another substitution for Molynes. And it's Fakibi Farquharson that is going to be coming off.
Really had a quiet game apart from his early 2 chances where he blazed them wide. Really has not gotten into this game at all.
And it's the man Rashawn Livingston that's coming onto the field. So getting some fresh legs in this one. Livingston over to Reed. Appealing for a handball. Referee Morrison says no. Steve Clark in attack mode now for Arnett. Referee says no foul.
We've certainly seen some good performances so far in this game. Cephas has been quite telling in it. Cephas has been telling. I think Nicholas Nelson has also been good. Still, maybe there's a chance in this one for somebody to win it.
He says it is a foul. Hand to the face of Janoy Cunningham.
So it's on a knife edge, and we see Nelson there, who certainly is in the run-ins for being the man of the match and is leading the way at the moment, you think, over Cephas. And if it stays this way, you think. But the game, certainly with 3 minutes or so, with whatever time to be added, you feel the game is definitely poised for somebody to really go ahead and really make a difference and put their name up for being the player of this game.
Both Cephas and Nelson have been threatening in this game, but I think in terms of constant threat, Nelson has been that player. Shot at goal.
Yeah, he has been consistent enough. He's throughout the game, and that's the thing, as I said, second half, Cephas pretty much out of it, and you wonder, is it his doing, or is it that Arnett doesn't find him as much as they should? I think there was a slight adjustment, though, to how Coach Anthony Patrick sets up his team. He had asked on that right side of his defense. I think he had asked for Stewart to just stay back a bit, just to help out. Not Stewart there. I think
Frankson.
that would have been Frankson,
right,
to stay back a bit and help out. And I think that sort of thwarted some of the attack that you would have gotten from Cephas.
And it works out to their favor, because, as I said, Sergina Frankson, especially in the Super League, the Casafa Super League, was playing defense a lot for Maligned United, so it really is in his comfort zone. So he would say that it's nothing to him. So Anthony Patrick saw that and decided to employ that, and it's working well so far, because Cephas has been quiet, especially for the last 20 minutes or so.
And even when he created that chance with some lovely footwork with the ball glued to his boots, he had 3 players to contend with in the first half. He would have had a free run.
Right. Very good work by Shadeen Lopez, but Seabright is still there. Wasn't inside the 18-yard box, just collected by Brown. Bouncing forward now to find Nicholas Nelson, but again he's caught offside. And again, Dwight, as you see, I don't think he was offside again.
Yeah, it's, and that's why I even reiterate that Earl Simpson, who tends to appeal and stop, is playing a dangerous game.
Playing a dangerous game indeed. And again, you'd want to think that Arnett Gardens will have to fix that. Here's Steve Clark. He was fouled by Damian Thomas. A free kick for Arnett.
Minimum of 3 minutes at a time.
And it has been announced that it will be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time.
Neither of these two teams will want to lose from this position.
We see another substitution for Arnett. And it is the captain, Romeo Guthrie.
Yeah, started brightly. I think he was the one who provided the pass on that first goal. Or the only goal for Arnett, the first goal of the game. And, but just faded a bit.
Kamoy slowly in the man to take his place. Shot at goal by Anderson. Oh, that was a telling shot. Had to be gobbled up by Leon Taylor. So nothing tried, nothing done. Anderson saw the opening and took a shot at goal, but very good word to see it was Leon Taylor, the goalkeeper for Molynes. What a spectacular goal that would have been. It is a free kick to Molynes United. Seafright sending up to the far right hand side and a shot at goal wide of the target again.
Both teams really looking to win it. As I said, I felt it wouldn't be a plus. They wouldn't see it as a plus to come away with a point here. It's as you were for them both. They would feel that this was an opportunity to try and win it, as we see that shot that's fizz across goal. Never troubling Davis in goal.
Anderson trying to drift into the middle of the park, but ran into Rashawn Livingston. Now it's with Tyrese Winter of Molynes. Both teams will be looking to get a winner here and 3 points, but they do have about 30 seconds minimum to go. Shadane Lopez couldn't get by Seafright. Good amount of space for Jeremy Nelson. Ball sent across to find Reed, and the referee says it's an offside call again. A lot of offside calls.
Two of which we felt was onside. Interesting to see what this one was like.
That was not the...
It looked like Simpson might have played him on as well.
Kamar Reed was way onside.
Yeah, it was. It appears Simpson was the deeper defender and playing him on. And we saw the bench of Arnett getting up. Must be feeling like assistant closest to them was on their side.
Is the end of that. So at the end of 90 minutes, referee Morrison calls the end to this one. And the final game of match day 6 sees Maligned United drawing 1-1 with Arnett Gardens. It was a very good affair. A tale of two halves for these two teams. Arnett Gardens being the better of the two teams in the first half, but Maligned United stepped up in the second, especially after the 60th minute. But there was no separation between these two teams, and they do share a point. Alex Thomas maybe felt like he could have snatched 3 points here and just would be 2 points behind a playoff spot. So at the end of 90 minutes here at the Captain Horsburgh Centre of Excellence, it's Maligned United 1, Arnett Gardens 1.